Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi ashabi ajma'in amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa qul rabbi zidni ilma. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. I welcome all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon all of you. The very interesting session is on, and as the topic has been announced, we are going to have an interesting discussion with Mr. Feroz Khan, and he's here. We all, on behalf of this online Dars group, we all welcome Mr. Feroz Khan. Yes, Feroz bhai.
Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for providing us this opportunity. And then I thank Brother Ubaid Khan for giving me this opportunity.
Actually, we have the honor of hosting you. Really speaking, we all are we feel fortunate and we feel honored to have you here in our program. I'll just introduce our guest. Mr. Feroz Khan is the president and founder of CAF, the Quran and Arabic Foundation, whose primary goal is to spread awareness of learning Arabic language. Mr. Feroz Khan holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering and a bachelor's degree in Islamic studies from the IOU, the Islamic Online University. He is also an ex-student of Bayina, USA, and studied directly under Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan. So we are going to start our session. The first question is basically I want to tell you, we are here for getting inspired to start learning Arabic language. As Muslims, we hold the Quran, we hold Islam in such a great honor, and the medium of instruction of the Quran is the language, the Arabic language. And unfortunately, so many Muslims, most of the Muslims are away from learning Arabic language. They are not aware of the importance of learning Arabic language. So here is a personality who has, has really inspired us, many of us, to start learning Arabic language. We can speak for hours together on just the importance of learning Arabic language. So inshallah, we start our journey to get inspired by this wonderful personality. The first question, Mr. Feroz Khan, you are an IT engineer. Tell us about your journey. We know that you traveled to US and you returned to India, and just tell us your story. When did you travel, and how many years did you stay in US?
Okay, first of all, just a minor correction. IOU used to stand for Islamic Online University, but now it has been renamed as International Open University. So that's the change from the time I graduated from that university. Okay, now from the time Brother Ubaid informed about this podcast, I have to do something which I have never done in my life, which is to look back at the old days. So this is like we are talking about almost 30 years journey that we are talking about, that we are trying to, I was going through. Even I did not ponder, never thought about pondering about those past days and how did this all turn into in today's time where I, as you said, I was working, I graduated.
Excuse me, Feroz bhai, can you speak somewhat louder? Okay. Can you speak somewhat louder?
Definitely.
So yeah, now it's clear.
Okay. So I have been pondering on this, that how did this all happen? And I was just recalling all those old days or collecting the memories so that we can have this interview. So it all started, yes, as everybody was wishing in my era. So those who are from my era, like 90s, those who graduated in the 90s, they might relate to it that becoming an engineer was something that was everybody was looking up to it. So engineers were not available in tons as they are available now. It was a very rare commodity. Anyway, I come from a very middle class, lower middle class family where we didn't have a very luxurious options with us. My dad was in the army, and may Allah grant him the highest place in Jannah.
I mean,
He did his best to provide me this kind of education at that time where he was, I mean, his life was too difficult than compared to us. In spite of all those difficulty, he managed to make me engineer, and he was always looking forward to that one day I will alleviate his the financial problems of the family. And it so happened that it was all going on in front of my eyes, and Alhamdulillah, with Allah's help, I was able to graduate as an engineer. And I also started working then in Bombay. That's where I started my professional career. So when I completed the engineering, I was looking around that many of my colleagues, or many of the people who had graduated, they were not finding job, or whatever was the reason, they were not doing the job. I mean, they were not applying for the job. They were just wasting that degree. So I thought that I don't want to go through that cycle. I immediately want to get the job, whatever I can, get the experience, and expedite myself into that career. And it so happened that I was going to Bombay to get to apply for a job or to look for a job, and in the train itself, I was reading the Times of India where the vacancies are there, and I saw advertisement where it said that freshers are welcome, so we can provide you the job, and we will train you, and we'll also provide you the stipend. So this was like win-win situation. You are giving the job to the fresher, and you're also giving us a training, and you're going to give us a stipend, monthly stipend. So I thought that this is a golden opportunity. I stopped looking for all other avenues, and I straight away went to that place, gave the interview, and then the hitch there was they were asking for a deposit. So they said that you'll have to pay 10,000 rupees, then only we will offer you a job, we'll give you training, and after 2 years, if you complete 2 years with us, we will return your money. So that was the catch there. Anyway, I didn't have that kind of money, so I went back to my dad and I told him. And my dad was like, after you completed the engineering, I was expecting you to help us in the financial situation. Now here you are again asking for the money, but I can understand, I can relate to him why he said that. But long story short, that was a scam where they were hiring the people, and they were making this contract of 2 years, and they used to humiliate people. I don't want to name the company, and they used to insult people so that they break the contract within 2 years and they can get that 10,000 rupees. 10,000 was a huge amount at that time. I'm talking about late 90s, like 93, 94, I'm talking about. Anyway, I was not the one who was going to leave that. So somehow I managed the money from here and there, and I got that job. And it so happened that I also had to go through all that mental torture that they tortured me so that I could leave it. But that was very hard-earned money, and I had borrowed it from someone else, so I don't want to lose it no matter what. I stayed there for 3-4 years and took that money and then left that company. Now, in those days, there used to be a degree called as CNE, Certified Novel Engineer. That was supposed to be the penultimate degree. If you are making your career into networking, you need to be CNE, Certified Network Engineer. And that was not easy to get. So again, it has a 7 exam. I had to, again, each exam cost 1,000 rupees to 7,000 rupees. And my salary was only like 900 rupees, something like that. They used to pay me, that company. So anyway, long story short, I managed to do that. Once I completed that degree, Alhamdulillah, Allah opened the doors, and there was this guy from Saudi Arabia who was looking for some 10-15 engineers for his newly launched project in Saudi Arabia. And I happened to get interviewed. I succeeded, I cleared that interview. And this is how I went outside the India for the first time. So I went into Saudi Arabia as a network engineer. And I worked there for more than 3 years. And that's where I applied for job in US where everybody was heading to. So I just wanted to see why is everybody going to US. So I applied there, and Alhamdulillah, I was able to clear that interview and I landed in United States. That's how I landed in US after working more than 3 years in the Gulf, in the Saudi Arabia and that country.
You lived for 3 years in Saudi, and how many years you lived in US?
Uh,
How many years did you live in US?
in US, I spent more than 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah, more than 10 years I spent in US.
In which company?
Okay, so that's also interesting. When I went to US, I was thinking that the company that is hiring me, I'm going to work for that company. And when I landed there, I realized that these guys are making me give interviews every day. So every day, I used to go to the office and they used to make me, okay, hey, Feroz, here's the call. Come on, get on the call. There's the interview. And they used to put me in an interview. The client used to interview me about my skills, my capabilities, my education. And either they used to select or reject. It's going on. So I was like, what's going on? I didn't understand the pattern. And finally, I realized that the company that I joined was a body shopper company, which means they were providing the resources to the companies. So I got placed first in New York City, which is Manhattan, which is the one that we see in the Bollywood movies, all the tall buildings. In that city, I got my first placement, and the company, I still remember, it was Estee Lauder, which is the company that makes the ladies' cosmetics, the lipsticks and all those cosmetics products, Estee Lauder. That's the company I worked for, like, I think 3-4 months. Then that project got over. Then I got placed in California, which was Sunnyvale, the Silicon City. For I think the company was Netware company, which used to make big hard disks. There I worked for 3-4 months. So this was the life that was going on. We were a project based. They used to place wherever there are vacancies. So I had to move around. And I was fed up of this life because I was not able to make my identity. And within 3-4 months, the projects used to get over and I had to move around. Finally, I got a project in a place called Raleigh-Durham, which is in the state of North Carolina. And this was the project for IBM. So I was hired there as a contractor for working them for a project. And after working for almost a year, they really liked my performance and they offered me a permanent job, which I accepted. Of course, there's a long story behind it, but this is not the time to discuss it. And that's how I landed up in IBM.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, very, 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 very interesting. And I know that there are many more hidden stories inside that big story.
Definitely, there are a lot of stories, interesting stories.
Okay. So, how did it all begin? An IT engineer goes to US in the Western world,
Yeah.
and many people, they have just that in the mind that we have to earn, lots of money. Humko paisa kamana hai, and this is the concept. But this IT engineer, he begins to study Arabic language. Who introduced you, and who raised your interest in learning Arabic language, and how you got to, start your journey in learning Arabic language in US?
Okay. Actually, I have one of my biggest regret is I spent more than 3 years in Saudi Arabia, but I never thought about learning Arabic. It never crossed my mind. So that's one of the.
That's very strange. That's very strange. A person should get inspired to learn Arabic language in our country, in Saudi Arabia. But here, yes, the opposite happened.
Yes, I did not pay attention to that aspect, and I have no shame in accepting that I was not a very practicing Muslim also at that time. Instead of learning Arabic, on the contrary, I taught them Urdu and Hindi to the Arab people. So, I mean, it's just that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs to guide you. It's not that it's up to you. Your intention should be very clear. And whenever Allah guides, then only you can do it. My first encounter with the Arabic language was I learned a phrase, Ana atakallam al-Arabiya, which means I don't speak Arabic. That's the first sentence I studied because wherever I go in Saudi Arabia, they used to speak in Arabic. They don't know English, they don't know Hindi, nothing. They only speak Arabic. And this is what I had to tell them. Ana la atakallam al-Arabiya. I don't speak Arabic. Anyway, so that was the biggest regret. But when I went to US, one good thing that happened or that I saw was the internet. There was a 24/7 internet available. When we were in India, of course, no internet was there at that time. When I went to Saudi, it was just beginning to start. It was a modem based internet. You had to dial a modem. So it was very low speed. we never enjoyed it. But when I went to US, I saw that on the tip of your mouse, it's like a 24/7 on. In Saudi Arabia, it was not on constantly. You have to turn on the modem, use it, and turn it off. But in US, oh, it's a hotline, and it's so faster, 100 times faster. This opened a new world. So now, like I'm like sitting on the computer and I'm browsing the websites, and I can see there's a whole world, lot of information there. And of course, the information you have to be able to sift through it. But this is what happened, and in between this, it happened that Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan, he happened to be visiting our city, and he was giving the Juma khutbah. And at the end of the khutbah, he said that I'm here in your city to start a course, an intensive fundamental Arabic course, which will go on for 11 days after the office hours. So you have to come here after 6 o'clock up to 10 or 11 o'clock, straight away 11 days. We'll complete the fundamental course, those who want to join this. And I was like thrilled. But at that time, Ustadh Nouman or Bayyana, this was not a common name. Not many people knew it. And he was going from city to city. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward for his effort, spreading the awareness of the Arabic language and teaching Arabic. So he happened to be in our city. So I said that this is a good opportunity for me because I was already getting fascinated by Arabic language by browsing the internet in the US. So I joined that course. Alhamdulillah, that course was conducted in one of our masjid. I still remember that. And that's where I decided.
Which city and
what I
which
want to
mosque?
be.
Feroz bhai, excuse me. Which
Yeah.
city and which mosque did the classes was started under
Okay,
Nouman Ali Khan?
yeah, so he gave the khutbah in the Raleigh city, which is the capital of North Carolina. But there is a nearby city called as Cary, Cary. There was one masjid which offered Ustadh Nouman the place in one of their basement where he was carrying all this projector and everything. I don't remember the name of that masjid at this moment. It was a small masjid, and that's where we completed our initial course of 11 days. We used to come after office hours, 6 o'clock till sometimes 11 o'clock. And this is how my journey started. And when I studied under him, and already I had studied some other syllabuses, but when I looked at his syllabus, the way of his teaching and the way the course was designed, I found it very, very beneficial, especially for the non-Arab people. So I thought that, okay, this is the thing I want to do, and this is something I will end up my life with, or do in the latter part of my life.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is different.
We realized the importance of the Juma khutbah. And unfortunately, most of the Juma khutbahs today in the Ummah are not pertaining to contemporary issues. So Juma khutbahs are so important. One person gets inspired, he inspires so many people. So again, it's we can speak for hours together on the importance of Juma khutbah. And um, the thing is, how was your experience with Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan? Do you remember your first class with him? Beginning the पहली class आपकी जो थी,
Yes.
आपको याद है?
That was a major turning point in my life. So how can I forget? I remember everything very vividly, very vividly. But as I told you, Bayyana name or the Ustadh Nouman, he was not a common name. Even I didn't know who was Nouman Ali Khan at that time. I didn't know. I thought that this is just one of the teachers teaching Arabic. So the very first day I remember, I came in very, very early. The class was, I think, 6:30 or 6, and I landed up there 5:30. Why? Not because I was very eager to learn. Yes, that was the aspect. But the important thing was I wanted to sit on the very first seat and record that lecture. So I had this camera there, but Ustadh Nouman told me that no, you cannot record it. You are not allowed to record it. So I requested him. I said that I am not a very intelligent Einstein IQ person. I need to revive it 2-3 times. So please allow me. But then he allowed me on one condition, that I don't share the video or I don't upload it on the internet. I said, please rest assured, I will not break my promise. And till today, I have not broken that promise, even though I still have those videos that I recorded with Nouman Ali Khan teaching.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Yes, see, in Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan's talks nowadays, we see a lot of humor. During the course of his talk, he makes people laugh. He comments, something funny. So was he that type even at that time during the class? Did he
I think that is
actually like jokes and all?
Yes, he used to. That's his style, and that is one of the feature of his teaching that we should all incorporate, that yes, this is a serious subject, serious topic, but does not need to be, don't need to become that serious. The humor aspect has to be there. Yes, there are boundaries. Within that boundaries, you can keep your students smiling and at ease, so that this is already a very dry language. No, not many people study it, and it's a very cryptic language for none of people. And on top of that, if you become serious and teach it seriously, it becomes a very serious matter. So yes, he used to. Maybe nowadays he's doing it a bit much more, which is again because as he has gone to the advanced level. So yes, that's his one of his feature that is appreciated.
Yeah. As a public speaker myself, as a public speaker myself, I just want to put up this point. Whenever you hear Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan, we find at ease. We feel ease with the goings on. When he speaks, when he talks about any topic, the audience is at ease.
Yes.
They find something comfortable. They're very comfortable with what is going on. So
Right.
that's a trait. That's a trait every speaker, every public speaker has to acquire. The next question is a very somewhat concerning question. But the Quran is so close to every Muslim, whether practicing or non-practicing, whether namazi or whether be-namazi, whether he is a drunkard or whether he is jua khelta hai. Every Muslim loves the Quran, honors the Quran. He even has is prepared to lay down his life for the Quran. But Muslims are away from Arabic language. Isn't it strange? What are your comments about it?
Yes, they are to a larger extent, and that's very unfortunate part in our community. And I think the basic cause of this is because we have separated both the studies. We have made like church and state separate. The deen study and the worldly studies, we have separated it. While that is should not have been the case. Anything that is beneficial should be studied equally. So we don't have this separation between the worldly knowledge and the religious knowledge. It should be one and the same thing. Just like we understand the importance of the English language, everybody should study English, no doubt about it, but not at the cost of Arabic. The Arabic should also be given the equal importance. So, but unfortunately, in this today's fast-paced world, parents are not educated to that level. They themselves don't understand the importance of it. So they have set the bar very, very low for the Quran. It's like if my kid can read it, Alhamdulillah, that's it. So they start counting how many times he or she has finished the Quran. So that's the level that we have put. So we need to raise that level to reach those levels that Sahaba used to treat the Quran with. It was like a mobile for them. The Quran was like a mobile for them, always referring it, always carrying it, always into it. So now we have replaced that Quran with the mobile. So we are always with the mobile. We don't even step out of our house. That's the condition of today's.
Inshallah. Feroz bhai, tell us about IOU. You came back from US, and I feel that I feel that you didn't have that intention to teach Arabic as a language, right? When you came back from US to India.
Here is the thing. What happened was, you see, when I came to India, I got a transfer from IBM US to IBM India because I still wanted to get some financial stability. And after working for a couple of years, I was trying to make up my mind that this is not what I want to do. I want to go and teach Arabic full time. But before I do that, I just wanted to make sure that whatever this major decision I'm making, I'm very sure about it. So when they are about to start a big project, they make a pilot project, do a feasible study of it. That's what I did. I put in my paper in the IBM and I told them I need a LOA. LOA stands for leave of absence, which means you are going to be on their payroll, but you're not going to get paid. So I put up this request that I want a LOA for 6 months. So my manager asked me, what did you need for? Because this is very rare that employee putting an application for LOA. And I found it in the HR thing that there is a clause called LOA. So I said, I need it. They said, for what? I said, I need to study. So they thought that like I'm going out of station, I'm joining some university or something like that. I said, no, I just need a break and I want to study something on my own. So they were surprised, but they approved it. So in the 6 months, what I did was, even though my family was in Mumbai and I was in Pune working, I used to still come to Pune's house full week. And may Allah reward my wife. She used to make 5 days food. I had to carry that, keep it in the fridge for 5 days, and I used to study from morning till from after Fajr, literally till after Isha. Only getting up for salah, food, and other necessities. And I did this for 6 months. And there were like DVDs, 50 DVDs. I thought that I would finish all the 50 in this 6 months, 180 days, but I was only able to finish 23 DVDs. Once I finished that 6 months, now it was time to get back to the office. Oh my God, this was really, really very tough because now the lion has tasted the blood. I was in this 6 months, I was deciding what I need to do. Nobody was dictating me. I decided what to study. I decided when to study, how much to study, what to do when I get up in the morning, when to sleep. Nobody was dictating. Nobody was calling me to give the report or join the meeting. So it was like a beautiful, the best days of my life. The 6 months I pressed. Of course, I didn't get the salary for the 6 months. That's a different story. But I was very, very happy. And when I went back, it was very tough for me to get into that office environment, get into the meeting, get into. So I really felt that this is not what I'm made for. I really can't do it. So I started teaching my friends, and you know more about it. I started teaching my friends at the weekends, and I was always looking forward to the weekend because I was enjoying making these notes and teaching Arabic and all. And finally, I felt that I cannot take this further. So finally, the time arrived. I gathered enough courage, and I put down my paper in 2015, and that's how I started my own organization, Quran and Arabic Foundation, where I propagate the Arabic and teach the Arabic courses. And that's how this all started.
Yeah.
So this all started.
Okay. Feroz bhai, tell us about the IOE. How did it help you to learn Arabic language, and which courses did you do there?
Yes, IOU also had Arabic in their syllabus. This is the whole 4 years degree course. So when I came to India, I was really, as I said, yes. Now by this time, I had become a practicing Muslim. Alhamdulillah, I used to play regularly and everything, all those things. But still, there were many things which were confusing. And when I asked these people who are around, or maybe the imams or the Maulanas, whatever it is, I used to get contradicting answers. I used to get answers which are not matching. So I thought that just like I studied the worldly degree, I need to study the authentic Islam from some authentic place. And in my search, I found out IOU University, where you don't have to leave your home. You can complete the international degree from the comfort of your home. So I enrolled into this, and Alhamdulillah, that was one of the best decision I made. After I was able to complete this 4 years degree in the 4 years time frame, even though they allow 12 years if you are working. I was working at that time. So I used to work from morning 9 to 6 and then come back in the evening, attend the classes and do my own study. And Alhamdulillah, I was able to finish this. So this helped me to understand Arabic more. But the reason I joined it was to understand the proper authentic religion, what is there. Since I was
did the BAIS course, right? The BAIS.
BAIS, yes. The degree name is BAIS, Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies. So they have almost like 50 subjects to pass, 50 subject credits you have to pass through it to get that degree. And it's an international degree, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
MashaAllah. Feroz bhai, what benefits do Muslims lose when they read or recite the Quran without understanding? Many Muslims, सब लोग हम लोग नमाज पढ़ते हैं तो अरबी पढ़ते हैं, कुरान पढ़ते हैं, रमजान में तरावी सुनते हैं, तो क्या बेनिफिट्स हम खो रहे हैं? यानी सवाब को मिल रहा है, थोड़ा बहुत सवाब तो मिल रहा है, लेकिन जो असल बेनिफिट्स है मुस्लिम क्या खो रहे हैं हम लोग? व्हाट बेनिफिट्स डू मुस्लिम्स लूज?
बेनिफिट खोने से ज्यादा मुझे लगता है वी आर नॉट डूइंग आवर ड्यूटी. इट इज आवर ड्यूटी टू लर्न द अरबिक लैंग्वेज. You see, I always give this example. If there is a person who is working in a multinational company and his manager tells him, "Hello, Abdullah, we are getting a project from France, but we don't have anyone who can speak French. If you can learn French in 4 months' time, I can double your salary." You know what? Abdullah will put day and night. He will do anything that he wants. Tom, he will contact Tom, Dick, Harry, whomever he can. He will search all the internet. He will look for the professor and he will master the French language in 4 months. Why? because his boss has guaranteed him that if you master, if you understand, if you learn French, I will double your salary. So there is this financial aspect associated with it. But what is associated with the Arabic? Nothing. Everything is promised in the hereafter. What are you going to do? The Maulanas there, the Muftis are there, it's their job. It's not our job. This is the wrong thinking, wrong mentality that we have. You see, if you get a pamphlet out of a mosque, when you come out, when you pray and come out, they distribute pamphlet. If that pamphlet is in a language that you don't understand, you will immediately throw it. But here we are reading Quran years after year, not understanding anything, and claiming that we have finished two Quran, three Quran, which is good. You will get the sawab. But this is like, there is the analogy is like there is a three-floor building. On every floor, there's a shop, and the shop carries the same material, same. Let's say it's a t-shirt or a dress shop. Every floor carries the same variety, same color, same design. The only difference is if you buy from the first floor, you will get 25% discount. If you buy from the second floor, you get 50% discount. If you buy from the third floor, you get 75% discount. What do you think? Where will the most of the people end up buying? On the third floor, because I'm getting 75% discount. But when it comes to Quran, we are very happy in 25%. We don't want to make it to 75%. Oh, just read, get the sawab. Because our Prophet ﷺ said, for every letter, you are going to get a sawab. You are going to get a sawab. But why don't you go beyond it? Why don't you take it? Why don't you make it as a starting point? So that's the difference. We need to change this mentality that Quran is meant only for reading. No, that should be the first step, not the ultimate step.
How does the learning Arabic language or knowing Arabic language help us to focus in the namaz, in the salah?
In this
How much does it help us?
Well, you see, when we go for salah, does Allah call us to salah to see our gymnastic, or is it a communication? Because most of us just go there, it has become a motion that we go through. We just go there, and if we stand prayer, we come out. There is no soul. See, our body is made up of two things, the physical body and the soul. And both of them have requirements. Just like we take care of our body, we give it a bath, we give it a food, we give the nutrition, we exercise, we walk, whatever we do, there is also a requirement for the soul. And the requirement of the soul is your Lord, who has created this soul, with whom there is a direct connection. He calls you 5 times a day to have a communication, to have the interaction. But do we have that interaction? No. Most of us are praying to just get the tick mark. See, when everyone prays, there are two things happening. One is the angels mark a tick. Okay, this guy prayed Fajr. Okay, you get a tick mark. But okay, you have completed your obligation. But there is other thing happening. You get a reward for it. Are we getting that reward? We don't care about it. We just care for the tick mark. So there are different kinds of people that come to pray. Some are like, as soon as they hear the adhan, they go, they make the wudu, they go, they stand, they go up and down, left, right, and out. Nothing more than that. Then there are others who are like little bit aware. They are trying to focus with different techniques. Like I remember when I was small, I raised this question with one of my friends. In the namaz, I'm not able to focus. I remember all the things. So he told me, you know what? When you are in namaz, you should remember that word Allah. Focus on it. That word Allah, just focus on it. It will help you to concentrate. Or if you're not, if you get bored with this, then try Kaaba. And then try Medina. So these were the tricks that were offered to keep the focus. This is not the way you keep your focus, right? And then there are those who are very easy at Salah. They understand Arabic. They understand at least somewhat Arabic. So they can understand what the Imam is reading. So they can focus on it. They have this khushu in the Salah. And that's the reason, apart from Arabic courses, we also have a course which is called as Takbir to Taslim, where we teach the authentic way to get the khushu in the Salah and how to pray. That's also a course here because that's the need of the hour.
Yes, Feroz bhai, Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan had that name Bayina. He chose that name Bayina. And you chose the name Kaf for your institution. So what, any special reason for choosing Kaf? There is one Surah Kaf, yeah, right? And there is one Kaf. So what What was the reason you chose SCAF as for your institute?
Okay. Uh, when I was looking for a naming this organization, I didn't want a name which could give an impression that this is one more Islamic organization, some doing some Islamic work. I wanted to convey the specialization in the name itself. So I was looking for a name which could be related, which could be just indicating Arabic and Quran. That's what we are focused on. That does not mean we don't care about other facets, but this is what we are specialized in. So that Quran and Arabic foundation, that letter Kaf, yeah, that stands for Quran also. Kaf also stands for Quran. And we also have a surah by the name Kaf. And moreover, our parent organization, Bayana, is also a name of a surah. And this is also a name of a surah. So I ended up, okay, let's call it Quran and Arabic Foundation. Seems to be a simple name.
Interesting, very, very interesting. Feroz bhai, what courses do you offer at CAF for learning Arabic?
Well, as I told you, this CAF is, we do courses. All our courses are based on Bayana courses. Whatever Bayana organization teaches the courses in the US, the same courses are taught here, but in our own space, in our own flavor. So they have the courses at the foundation level, then they have courses at advanced level, they have courses at expert level. So do we. Alhamdulillah, we have students who are studying with us from last 10 years. We have those students also who are continuous. From the time I started my first batch, those some students, they are still there, still studying with students. It's like almost 10 years and they're still with us. So we have all those courses that we teach. But the only difference is we take their courses, the material, and we package it in a PowerPoint slide. We give it a little bit of spin of our own. We make it based on slides so that when we display it, the content doesn't get displayed completely on the screen. I control the student's focus by showing only those things that I want the student to focus on. So we wrap it in the form of a slide, and this way we can control the focus on it. The other thing is the study environment. Even though we are teaching Arabic, you don't feel when you come to the CAF Institute, even though Alhamdulillah, this is a small institute, we can only accommodate 10, 15 people offline. But we have provided all the amenities and the ambience for studying the Arabic language. You don't feel like you are learning Arabic because the environment and the ambience is just like you are studying any other subject. So we have provided all the amenities, the table, chair, air conditioner, projector, slide based. The exams are also online. Everything that we could provide, we have provided in this small place.
More students online or offline?
Yeah, I am of the opinion that a subject like Arabic or any language, it should be studied face to face, offline, along with your teacher. I'm of that opinion. But this COVID has changed many of the things. People are now used to working from home. So they don't want to get out of their bed, of their sofa, of their couch. So we were forced to start the online classes also. So from last couple of years, we do the class simultaneously online as well as offline. We do both.
So more students online or more students offline?
No.
What is the percentage? What is the percentage of online students and offline students?
Unfortunately, students prefer online classes. Even those who are local, very rarely do they come to the class. So it's like 25, 75%. You could say that. 75% students are online.
Yeah, that is the gift of the COVID, right? Because most of us, we didn't have that concept, online concept.
Exactly.
Most of us, we never believed, we never knew that this will happen, that we can learn. Now I got to see advertisements, teaching yoga, teaching music, teaching, almost everything online.
Everything
so it's a trend now.
Exactly. There are some subjects that suit online thing, but then studying like Arabic language, you need to interact one-on-one with your teacher. So it's always more beneficial to study in this base. Yeah.
Yeah. Feroz bhai, there is one very important, aspect of making the learning of Arabic language popular with the Muslim Ummah. Many Islamic schools have opened, many Muslim managed schools are there, thousands of schools are there, and they have in their hand, so many hundreds of students are there with them. And these Islamic schools and Muslim managed schools, they can teach Arabic language, they can introduce Arabic language to the students because the students are there with them. Thousands of students are there with them. But uh, in if we see, if you just put a glance, most of the schools, I think, if I'm not wrong, 90% of the schools, they just treat it as a, as just casually. They take it very casually. Just teach some duas and all, teaching alif bata or nazra Quran at the most. But they don't, even though they have that chance, they have that opportunity to teach Arabic language to the students, to the youth of Muslim Ummah, they don't do that. So, what is your advice to the Muslim educators? They print on their pamphlet in their brochures Arabic language, the first highlight Islamic schools at least. But if you see inside, अली बाता जो कहीं भी पढ़ सकता है बच्चा, जो घर में भी पढ़ सकता है.
Right.
And thousands of the target is thousands of students are there ready. You just start that teaching Arabic language and just you can do it, but they don't do it. So, what is your advice to Muslim educators?
Well, first of all, I think it's a community responsibility. As a community, it's our responsibility that we should have enough Islamic schools teaching Arabic language. Arabic as a language, at least Quranic Arabic. If you don't want to teach the full-fledged, at least teach. So we should have enough schools, not scattered here and there. And second thing is, qualified people should run this school. People who are really qualified and who understand the importance of Arabic language. Not just reading, but the really understanding the language. Just like if they are teaching English to their students, they should teach Arabic. Simultaneously, there should be no compromise. No compromise means no compromise. Then only we will reach a stage, at least the next generation or third generation, where we will see that they are just learning Arabic just like in English. So they don't feel like, why am I learning it? No, this is also important. Moreover, what happens with these schools, whatever little experience I have, there is no external support, financial support for this school. We don't get any subsidies from any government institution. This is our own baby. So we need to handle it. So at times they have lack of funds, which forces them to compromise on the quality of the staff, on the quality of the infrastructure. So these things ultimately affect that, okay, what we should be compromising, it comes to again, the Arabic language. If you want to decide between English and Arabic, the focus is there. So I think this is a community effort, and those people who are blessed in our community, they should invest in such institutions. Yeah, so that it's not only beneficial for them, but benefit for their akhirah, even when they are gone. So many people I have seen, this is a very unfortunate part. Allah has blessed them so much that it's their choice. I mean, there's nothing wrong. They go to Umrah, Hajj, Umrah every 4 months, 3 months. They want to do Umrah. Good, and I mean that's their choice. But I think if I were the better choice is invest in such institution where the student will learn some stuff and you will get the sawab. And this is like sawab area, going and multiplying rather than investing in the worldly life or in things which will not be of so great benefit to us.
It's actually it's the responsibility of the Muslim educators as such that to make this trend, the to create the awareness among the Muslim students to learn Arabic language. इतना कॉमन करना चाहिए, इतना मतलब शुरू से ही इतना अरबिक उनको टीच करना चाहिए कि बच्चों को स्टार्टिंग से, मिसाल के तौर पे हम जब पढ़े तो हमको बस वही कॉन्सेप्ट था, अलिफ बाता पढ़ो और थोड़ा सा कुरान पढ़ लो, कुरान पढ़ने के बाद मिठाई विठाई बांट दिए. तो यही कॉन्सेप्ट था, मतलब ये अरबिक लैंग्वेज सीखने का कॉन्सेप्ट आज तक, अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज तक, even after 30-40 years, still that concept has not changed.
The problem is with the parents. They themselves don't understand the importance of Arabic language. So once, if you don't understand it, how can you push it to your kid that this Arabic language is important? See, that's the reason that the slogan of CAF, Quran and Arabic, what is the slogan? Quran beyond recitation. We want to take Quran beyond recitation. See, it's the responsibility of the people who are in authority, the imams of the masjid, the Islamic institution. They should hammer this point that Arabic needs to be learned as a language, not for just reading. This is the very unfortunate part that on every Jummah, thousands and thousands of people, they come to the mosque without any campaign. They are coming to you. And I'm very sorry to say that most of the masjid, most of the imams, what are they talking about on Friday? Mundane topics, irrelevant stuff, inauthenticate events and stories that have no basis in Islam. I am yet to hear an imam who gives a khutbah upon the importance of the Arabic language. No, these are the people who should keep hammering it. The more they hammer it, the people will understand that this is something important. But they don't do it. This is not the topic of their Jummah khutbah or their institution. Nobody talks about it. So how can you expect a normal common man to put his to give his kid this Islamic education where Arabic is so important? It will not happen.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah. It's so strange and so unfortunate. Okay. What are the advantages of understanding the Quran directly by knowing Arabic language over reading a translation?
Reading a translation. Okay.
What are the advantages? What
Okay.
I'm reading the Quran, knowing Arabic language directly. I'm able to understand the Quran,
Right.
and I'm reading a translation of the Quran. What are the advantages?
We usually cover this point in our session when we conduct why learn Arabic. You see, first of all, let's understand that the translations which are written, most of the translators, may Allah reward them immensely for the effort that they have put in. Their first target audience is not Muslim. When a translator is translating the Quran, he is not doing it for the Muslim. Even some of the translators have mentioned in their preface, this is not for Muslim audience. Muslims are supposed to learn the language. Translations are for non-Muslims so that they can read and get inspired and understand the Islam religion. Not for you and me. For you and me, that should be the first step. We should take it beyond. It's not for us. Second thing, if you are learning from the translation rather than directly trying to understand it, then there are only specific locations where you can have the translation. Like, okay, right now in nowadays, it has become in your mobile, you can have everything. But generally speaking, you will need other resources to understand it. You will need a lot of other resources for understanding it. Just translation would not be enough. And you need to have all those resources accessible to you at all the times. But a person who directly understands, he doesn't need all those resources. He can just open and read it and understand it. Third thing, translations are the works of human beings. And as the Prophet ﷺ said, every human makes a mistake. Even though their mistakes will be rewarded by Allah because that was not their intention, it was a mistake. But there are mistakes. The translator can make a mistake. And it's always with respect to the perspective of the translator that he translates. Maybe the perspective was different when you compare it. But when a person learns, we have so many examples in Arabic which we discuss in the class, where we discuss, okay, see, this is the we show them like 3-4 translations that are online available, which are very famous. And then we show them the grammar of it. Many a times you find it's exactly the opposite meaning. Yes, you might be surprised, but that's true. Many a times that's not what Allah said. Allah said the exactly opposite of it, whatever is being conveyed in the translation. Now that's because that's the limitation of the translation, not the mistake of the translator most of the time. It's the limitation. Everything cannot be translated. Now, two languages don't have one-on-one mapping. So you cannot map everything like this. These are two different architectures. So that is the limitation. So if you really want to understand what Allah is saying, you have to take it directly from the house's mouth. You need to understand directly from Arabic. And once you taste that understanding from Arabic, you will never go back to translations or other stuff or word for word. No, I'm not discouraging those people who are reading to it. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward them. But nothing like understanding it directly from the Arabic.
Yes. There are so many questions there, more questions raised, so many very interesting session. But I just want to give my audience a chance. First, the last question here is anyone from our audience or the public has to start a course has to join CAF for learning Arabic. So how should he approach you or the CAF, any website or email, whatever?
Okay. Uh, we do have a website. It's not a very up-to-date website. We have just created for the sake of it. The interesting part is from last 10 years, by Allah, I'm telling this, we have not even printed a single pamphlet. There is no single pamphlet. Whatever students we have, like 700 to 800 students have joined with us from last 10 years. They are all from word of mouth and little bit of WhatsApp because I'm not even on social media. I don't have a Facebook account. I don't have Instagram. I don't use Twitter. I don't use anything. So I'm not there. I'm only on WhatsApp. So whatever is through WhatsApp and through word of mouth, these are our students. So uh, whoever comes to know about it, when I ask them, how did you come to know? It's either through Google. So in Google, as soon as you put it, CAF is the one that gets hit when you say Quran, Arabic, or Pune. And we have a website, thecaf.org. And you can also contact us through WhatsApp. Through our contact. Yeah, that's
anyone of us, anyone of the audience here has to, has been inspired, really inspired to join CAF. He can just Google search caf.org, and inshallah he will find the opportunity to join CAF. Now I throw open the floor for the audience to ask questions. If the audience wants to ask any question, just raise your hand and the main host will unmute you and then you can ask your question. Yes, we have very few minutes left, around 5 to 10 minutes. Anyone wants to ask, just raise your question, raise your hand and then you can ask the question. Your questions about learning Arabic language, the significance of Arabic language, the journey of Mr. Feroz Khan from an IT engineer to learning to an Arabic teacher. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask Mr. Feroz Khan. Anyone wants to ask the question, just raise your hand and ask the question. We have our esteemed speaker here, and it's a good opportunity to ask whatever you want to ask about the Quran, the Arabic language, etc. You can just ask. There is a question on chat. There is a question in chat box.
Is the question in the chat box? I don't use Zoom, so
I'll just read it for you. How many years you took to learn Fusha Arabic?
Fusha Arabic.
Fusha Arabic.
Is it Fusha? Fusha? Is that what they're asking?
Yeah. Fusha Arabic.
No, we are only restricted ourselves to Quranic Arabic. Now, of course, many people are of the understanding that Fusha Arabic is the spoken Arabic. Well, no, Fusha is a part of the classical Arabic. So we are only dealing with the Quranic Arabic, which is called as the Lugatul Arabiya or classical Arabic. Fusha Arabic is the one that is used primarily in the media, in the newspaper, in the magazines. That's what it is used, and it's related to more towards spoken Arabic. But in this, at the CAF, we are only concerned with the Quranic Arabic.
Okay.
That's all.
And another question is, next question is how many hours? One of the audience is asking how many hours you spend every day to learn Arabic language.
How many hours I spent? I never kept a track of hours, except for those 6 months where I studied 8 hours every day, 5 days a week. No, I don't. This is not about hours. It's about the regular study, more of a regular study if you do it. I have been doing this study for almost 20 years, but I think still I have not even touched the tip of the iceberg. The more I study the advanced part of it, the more ignorant I find myself. So there is still a lot more way to go. But yes, I have been studying from last 20 years.
Okay, mashallah. Anyone else wants to ask questions? Even on the mic, you can ask. We'll just wait for 3-4 minutes more, and then we'll end the session. You can even ask your question in the Arabic language, not in even if you don't speak English or Urdu. You can just ask your question in Arabic language, inshallah.
We'll have to type in the classical Arabic word.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. One question now. This will be the last question. Okay. Is it possible to learn Arabic language? For example, for some reason, a person is not able to attend any class, any YouTube videos, etc. There are books. There are books of Abu Amina Bilal Phillips, learning Arabic language, or we have there is one author, V. Abdul Rahim Green. So can a person just uh, through the books he can learn Arabic language without any class, without any ustad?
Well,
Is it possible?
without a teacher, it would be difficult for someone to grasp all the rules about the Nahu and the Sarf. This is a very powerful language. It has built-in tools that are really, really powerful and multi-resourceful. So, as per my experience, I think it would be very difficult journey for one to learn Arabic language on their own. I won't say it's not possible, but it would be very, very difficult. And but if there is a teacher or someone who can be contacted uh, on a need basis, even that will help. But if you are completely, but nowadays in today's world, you have all those resources available online. Even if you don't have a teacher assigned to you, you can get those in online. But still, there are some questions which Sheikh Google cannot answer. There are a lot many questions. So for that, you will
There
definitely
is
need a teacher.
one question on chat box. Okay, there is one sister here who has raised her hand, so she can ask. Uh, Sister Ruxana Khan, she wants to ask a question. Yes, sister, you can unmute your mic and ask the question.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.
I just want to praise my sir क्योंकि मैं एक स्टूडेंट हूँ उनकी दो मैं सीनियर सिटीजन हूँ लेकिन मैं बहुत अच्छे से कर रही हूँ उनके साथ और मुझे बहुत मैं खुश नसीब समझती हूँ अपने आप को कि मैं उस सर की स्टूडेंट हूँ और दो मैं कभी कभी कॉन्सेप्ट भूल जाती हूँ क्लास में लेकिन ही मेक्स मी फील एज अ गुड स्टूडेंट इन द क्लास दैट कीप्स मी गोइंग आई एम सो हैप्पी फॉर दैट थैंक यू सर सो मच थैंक यू सर
Mashallah, this is the best compliment we heard from the sister, and this says it all.
Well, not because she praised me or she appreciated me, but yes, she's a very elderly lady, but she never attends the class online. So this is an example for those whom Allah has blessed with the good health and everything, and they are like sitting on their bed and couch. Of course, Allah will reward you. I'm not trying to discourage, but she comes to the class regularly. There is one more lady, Sister Nusrat. They always attend in class and they are very regular. And even at this age, they are very, very smart in learning the grammar. I'm amazed.
May Allah bless them.
Yeah.
May Allah bless them, and they really hold an inspiration to all of us.
Definitely, definitely.
There was one question in the chat box that how can we maintain the spark of learning Arabic language even in our busy schedule, hectic schedule, day to day, a very fast life. How can we maintain this? We can maybe we start learning Arabic language, but after 1 month or 2 months, maybe that spark goes away.
Yeah.
So is there any way to maintain that spark?
Yes.
Learn Arabic language.
Definitely, good question. But see the outs. Here is the thing. The teacher. This is what I do at my personal level. I try to keep my students motivated as much as possible. But that is always not going to be enough. There has to be something inside of the student also. The motivation that comes from inside will do miracles than compared to the motivation that is coming from outside. The outside will work for a time period. That's a temporary. But if you really want it, it has to come from inside. And how can it come from inside? Well, just look up that your creator, your Lord, chose this language for the final revelation. Allah does not do things just like you and me, just for the sake of it. There is always a reason behind it. We might be able to comprehend it or may not be able to. But one thing we should be sure is if Allah is saying, if Allah has done, there has to be something in it. So if He chose this language, this is the best language. And if my master chose this language, then I should respect it by learning this language because his final revelation is in Arabic. And if I don't understand it, then what will I tell my Lord when He asks me, hey, you were able to master French, German, Japanese, Chinese, everything, but you couldn't learn Arabic? Why was it so? So if you make yourself believe that this is something I need to do, I will do it and I have to do it, you will definitely.
Alhamdulillah, inshallah. May Allah bless us all. And we thank our esteemed guest, Mr. Feroz Khan, for giving us the opportunity to hear him. And he has, taken out from his busy schedule, from his precious time, he has awarded so much time for all of us. May Allah inspire us to learn Arabic language. May Allah inspire us to study the Quran in its revealed language. And may Allah bless Mr. Feroz Khan for his efforts. May Allah keep him inspired to teach Arabic language. And many more questions are there, inshallah, in the future. If there is an opportunity, inshallah, we'll invite our guest once again. And we end the session here. A few last sentences from our guest?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Brother Obed, for having me here and providing this opportunity to share this with our audience, with your esteemed audience. I never thought about this, that one day I will be doing this, but I really appreciate you considering me for this interview. And I really appreciate all those people who took out time and thought that it is worth hearing what I have to say, even though it doesn't hold any, I'm not a person for whom you could devote such a time, but still you devoted. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He rewards all of you and He rewards, and He guides us to the straight path, and He creates that awareness in us where we can study His deen and understand His deen in His original language.
Amin. So Amin. Summa Amin. And may Allah also bless the people who are conducting this online Dars group since 4 years. There are some people who take out time in the busy schedule in Mumbai. Many speakers they invite, and whenever I request for a talk, they are ever ready. In their busy schedule, they are doing fi sabilillah since 3-4 years. May Allah reward them a lot.
Yes.
And the people, the new audience can even join our online Dars group. Our online Dars group, where many speakers come every week or two, and they give interesting talk. So the audience can even join our online Dars group, inshallah. So we end the session here. Akhiru dawana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah khair.